best of 7. The Golden State Warriors, the 7 seeds. Only 2-2 is their record. You see this starting 5 before this series resumes. So a big one tonight. Butler matched up with Van Vliet.
And we saw the start. Van Vliet was on Draymond Green. They got the switch to get Jimmy Butler into that matchup on Van Vliet. They placed Şengün on Moses Moody.
This is where you start to see the matchup start to prevail in a series, in a best of 7. You get one game in, and then all the changes these coaches make as Amen Thompson opens up the scoring here tonight.
Well, that's a great pass off the dribble by Jalen Green and a tremendous cut.
He hopes there's not just that little natural let-up when you take game 1 on the road in a best of 7.
Yeah, I've seen it many times. You get that first game, and you just don't have, it's not that you don't play hard, you just don't have the same focus and sense of urgency because you feel like you've already done your job.
Rockets turn it over. Podziemski running the break, and Moody fouled by just 7 points. You see, Stan only had
the Şengün, and they need to make them pay for that matchup.
Here's Jalen Green. Rockets need a big night from him, and that's a good start. Green, just 7 points in game 1. Knocks down a triple.
Had an assist on the first play, so all 5 points he's had a hand in here to start. You see the physicality here of the Rockets.
Butler backs down Brooks. Those two wearing microphones for us tonight. That's going to be a fun listen, I think. I don't know if we have enough beep buttons for those two, but we'll try. Excellent defensive stand. And now Şengün going to work, drops it off, and a foul, and time all-star. And Thompson knocks down the
shooter. A guy who's not a real stretch shooter like Amen Thompson is you tend to relax on the weak side because it's...
Here's Curry, comes around the screen, buries the 3.
Well, that's the one screen, though. Moses Moody, very important as a screener. Not used to that role, but a great screen right there to get Curry free.
Green misses his first chance. We'll watch and see if Moody on those screens goes out beyond the line. He pops versus rolls. That's a big part of the story, too, for the Şengün with a rebound. Dillon Brooks, guarded by Butler. And Brooks, a little turnaround. Good.
That's a tough. One of the better running teams in the league. Houston got only 4 fast break points in game 1.
Podziemski driving, trying to put some spin on it, missed it. Rockets want to push. Both teams great in transition. Green drops it off. Thompson with a two-handed jam.
Same cut.
Steve Kerr wanted Moses Moody to let it fly, and he lets it fly and knocks in a 3.
I think both coaches probably pretty happy with how their teams have opened this game. They're seeing a lot of the things that they talked about. Jimmy Butler on Şengün tonight. Draymond Green's got to do a better job of Thompson on the cuts.
Şengün goes to the basket. Help from Green. Now late clock here, and Moody locks him up in the corner.
That on Brooks doesn't give him a chance to get a shot up.
Again, Brooks on Jimmy Butler. Curry turns the corner, drives, kicks. Draymond Green for 3, comes up short.
But again, Curry able to get in the lane because of a great screen away from the ball by Moses Moody. Şengün is not going to switch.
Draymond Green. Green on Green inside the Şengün. He is athletic than the Warriors, and now they got to travel.
Curry won. Draymond Green did a great job.
Well, remember the Memphis Grizzlies, very physical. Matter of fact, cost Gary Payton the rest of those playoffs. Warriors would go on and win the championship, matching up against the Celtics that year in the finals against Ime Udoka's Celtics. Van Vliet guarding Butler. Shot clock down to 7.
Manipulated to get to that matchup twice already.
Podziemski rises up. The lefty missed it. We got to keep an eye on Brandon Podziemski tonight. He is severely under the weather. Has hardly practiced the last 2 days. He came over to the table before the game, said he thought it was a serious bout of food poisoning, but he is not quite 100%. Şengün, offensive board, sets up Green, and Şengün's got another offensive board. This time Green drives. Draymond Green knocked it out of his hands. And the Rockets get a chance here. Brooks turnaround, no good. And it is Butler who secures.
But now some of those guys have that first experience under their belt. And then Thompson also told me, any chance I can get, I try to follow and talk to Fred, DB, read their emotions throughout the game. So if they're calm, there's no reason for me not to be calm too.
Good stuff, Lauren. Thank you. Got a turnover by the Warriors. Games when they were all together.
Team.
Keep an eye here on Brandon Podziemski. Right, and I don't know how to put him in there. See if the adrenaline can take hold. But a sluggish start to threes here in this first quarter. And 6 minutes into this game, Moody much more aggressive shooting the basketball. That's a three down for Tari Eason. First minutes on the floor. Eason out of LSU buries a triple in the corner. Getting some early minutes here in the first quarter. Rockets lead by 8. And that's going to be a foul.
But he's absolutely right. They were the other night in game 1 grabbing and holding Curry on every possession.
Making it tough on Curry. Jalen Green. As much bounce as you get. Actually, Curry got a hand on that. And now they did grab possession. They restart the shot clock. Gary Payton II forces a Rockets turnover.
One of the best guys in the league getting loose balls. Moses Moody again shooting the three with Sengun sagging off. He's got to take that shot consistently in this series.
Inside, Sengun with Green guarding, and he stepped on the baseline.
To make that pass difficult, Quentin Post didn't have it there, but Draymond Green did a fantastic job.
Just those 3 made baskets for the Warriors. 2 of those pays off. Game 3 will be in San Francisco at Chase Center. Season, the Rockets were last in the playoffs. They had a few years down at the bottom of the standings. Ime Udoka gets the job last year. They finished 500, and then this year, 52 wins. Nice setup inside as Sengun.
Another one of those great, versatile European big men, Sengun.
Gary Payton II is clutching at his right shoulder. That's been the last 5 years for the Rockets since their playoff run in 2020. It was a mess the year after the 2020 season when they
nerved by it right now. Very upset at the officiating as Sengun. He hit a 3 the other night, but he's really struggled from 3. Hadn't made one since the middle of March until the other night.
Shoots it at just 23% from beyond the arc. Butler back on the floor and drives and scores on Tari Eason.
And he thought he got fouled there. The Warriors have to be careful, though. Steve Kerr irate right now. We saw it with the Knicks in the Detroit series the other night. They got so wrapped up in the officiating. I thought it took away with it and play the game.
Tell you, Jalen Green gives you an idea what kind of talent he is. Curry with a 3-pointer, no good. Jabari Smith, first minutes on the floor for him. Third-year man out of Auburn.
And Fred VanVleet got knocked down on that rebound. We should keep track of knockouts or knockdowns tonight like they do in